Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to fly with the wheelchair. I'm all packed up and ready to go. Now, it's time to call a cab. So the app I like using is Lyft. You're probably gonna wanna choose the XL. The reason why you wanna choose the XL is because there's plenty of room to put in your wheelchair and your luggage. And sometimes when you call the regular one, there's stuff in the trunk and you can't put your chair in there, or you might have to put your chair in the front seat and it can be a little bit of a mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose the XL and we're gonna get to the airport. Don't be afraid to ask your driver for help. They're gonna see that you're in a wheelchair and they're probably gonna wanna help as much as possible. Sometimes even a little too much, but that's okay. Just direct them through the process and they'll be more than willing to help. Just go ahead and load up my chair and he's grabbing the luggage for me. If you're unable to stand and load up your chair on your own, you can definitely just transfer in. When going to airports, especially if you're using an app, it's pretty specific on where it asks you where you wanna go. So if you know where the terminal is, you can definitely tell the driver what terminal it is. If you don't know what terminal it is, you can usually select on the app what airline you're flying out of. Now, when you get there, you'll have them drop you off right next to the Curbside Check-In, and then we'll go from there.
Do you hear what I hear? Do you care what I care? Do you know what I know? Do you know what we share?
Can I get some help with a bag? All right, so we got the Curbside Check-In valet to come grab the bag for us, and we're gonna go do a Curbside Check-In so everything can go smooth. Okay, so they gotta inspect your wheelchair for prior damage to make sure that any damage that you have, you can't claim that they did, and if something does happen, you've got a way to measure if something did happen to us. So it's a tie light. Yeah. You can say silver with black carbon fiber accessories.
Any major damages on that thing?
No, just little like scuffs and scrapes, no bends, no dents, no tears. They're putting a destination tag on the suitcase. They will make a destination tag for my wheelchair once we get to the gate. All right, we've got our bags checked in. We've got our boarding passes, and the next step is we go through security. Go ahead and use the restroom before we go through security. The reason why I like doing that is because sometimes they make you lean left, lean right. They'll touch you in places, and maybe if they put too much pressure in one specific place, or if you have to do a specific movement, you don't want to leak on yourself. Well, I'll be definitely peeing again a couple more times throughout the trip. Right before the plane boards, I'll go again, but for now, I'm doing it right before we go through security. Another important thing to remember is to stop drinking about 2 hours before your flight. If you need to take a sip of something every now and then, that's okay. Try to avoid caffeine because caffeine is a diuretic and it'll push fluid out of your bladder. You're not gonna be able, once you're on the plane, to make it to the bathroom unless you can stand or walk a little bit. All right, when you're looking for your place in the TSA line, don't go to the original line, go to the ADA access part of the line. ADA entrance. So even if you're a wheelchair user, you still have to take off your shoes, go and get all of your keys in your wallet out of your pocket. Now I can stand and walk and go through the beeper, but I'm not gonna do that today, just to show you guys what a pat down looks like if you're a complete or someone who can't get out of their chair very easily. All right, so he's grabbing some of my bags for me and gonna do a pat down.
So I'm just gonna explain to you very briefly.
That's fine.
For the non-sensitive areas, your chest, your back, your legs, I'm gonna put them down with the front side of my hand. For sensitive areas, you go on your buttocks, so I'll put it down with the back side of my hand. Do you have any internal or external medical devices?
In this area, I have an implant that you'll be able to feel.
Any parts of your body hurt if I pat you down?
No.
Would you like a private screening or here's
No, that's okay.
Are you able to lift your legs?
I can push up like this.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
That'll work. Go ahead and put your arms up, palms facing upward. I'm gonna start on the back side, okay?
I'm not sure if you heard anybody ask if I had any sores or any sensitive areas, if there are certain things I can and can't do. You might have seen me lean forward. That's pretty easy because I've got good core strength. If you don't have core strength, don't worry about it. They'll find an alternative way around
Put
it.
down your legs on the back side, okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
I hope you don't find the money strapped to my thigh.
It's pretty invasive, but as wheelchair users, we're used to that. Like, think about when you used to get bed baths back in the hospital when they were just rubbing up on you naked. So it's not as bad as that.
You can put your arms down. I'm gonna put down the waistband and then the groin area, okay?
I'm slightly ticklish, so I'll try not to laugh.
So now I have to run a quick test on your wheelchair, okay?
So now he's doing a sniff test check on the wheelchair to make sure that there's no shady stuff on, near, or around the wheelchair. Good to go. I grab my bag from you? Perfect. Can I have you put it over toward the bench? Yeah, that'd be great. After it's finished up, they'll help you bring your bags to a designated area. You can put your shoes back on, put your bag back on, and get to the gate. One of the interesting and fun, challenging things about getting around an airport in a wheelchair is finding all the elevators. Some places are really easy to find, like this one is right here in front of TSA, but sometimes you have to go back down these weird alleys and like behind stuff and parts of the airport you didn't even know existed before. That's okay. Ask questions or follow some of the people that are escorting other individuals in a wheelchair. They're called transporters.
The transporter.
And they're usually for like elderly or like overweight individuals, but if you need a transporter, you can definitely get one too. I don't want one personally because I just don't want one, but if you want to get one, you totally can. There's nothing wrong with it. But you can follow those folks or ask those folks, but this is real easy. We're just right here at check in at the gate to get a destination tag for my wheelchair and to let them know that a wheelchair user is going to be on their flight. I need to grab a destination tag, please, for my wheelchair.
Oh, so do you have the other tag?
Yeah, I've got.
Oh, perfect.
I've got this tag, the inspection tag. I just need a destination tag, please.
Including luggage to transport on your flight. Do not accept it.
All right. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks. All right, so you just got to check in, get your destination tag, and now we wait on the plane. Few flying tips and tricks I like to do. First tip, wear soft pants. Don't wear jeans. You are going to be taking your cushion on the plane with you, and you're going to want to make sure that you do weight shifts while you're on the plane, which is really important. Another top tip, I did check a bag, but I always still carry a bag with 1 or 2 days worth of extra supplies because all my catheters, all my meds, all my supplies, all my clothes are in that checked bag, and like, what if it gets lost? What if it gets misplaced? What if something happens? Who knows? So you want to be prepared. So I've got a couple of days worth of meds, I've got some casts in here, I've got my computer, I also take a sweatshirt because where I'm landing, it's going to be freezing, and it could be freezing on the plane. You never know. I do have a water bottle with me that I will fill up before we fly, but again, just a sip on. You don't want to drink a lot of water while you're on the plane, because if you drink a lot of water on the plane, you're going to have to pee. And there are some emergency techniques that I'll show you guys, but I don't recommend doing. But for now, when the plane that we're gonna leave on shows up, I will go talk to that person and say, hey, you know, I'm here, what I need, what I don't need. Do I need an aisle chair? Do I need an escort? Yada yada, whatever. We'll just check in with them next. I'm gonna go check in with this guy, let him know that I am what I need and what assistance I don't need. I just need to let them know that I'm going to be here for early check-in and that I'm on the plane.
What's up, guys? How
I just want to let you know that I'm going to be on this flight today.
Okay.
And I have 2 companions today. Okay. Is that all right?
Follow me, follow you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to make sure that everyth's gravy. I've got my destination tag. I've got my claim ticket, my inspection. We're good to go. I just want to let you know that I'm here.
No worries. And then, of course, you need an aisle chair? Are you okay just...
I'll be without an aisle chair as long as I can get on those first couple rows.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, because I can usually just scoot in and just
It's one of our
transfer
newer
over.
jets, so in other words, the armrest doesn't come up.
Oh, that's fine. That's not an issue.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Go right to the thing.
Someone up. Perfect. Sounds good. All right, thanks, bud. He asked if I needed an aisle chair, and I said no. One of the reasons I like flying Southwest so much is because you can, if you've got a small compact chair like I do, you can roll into the plane and even into the aisles, to the very front aisle, and transfer over to the seat. And then they can take your chair out from there, because on Southwest you get to choose your own seat. Most other airlines are not like that, but that's one of the reasons why I like choosing Southwest, is because I know I'm very easily on and very easily off. It's not a big stress, and I kind of get to pick to sit up front every time, which is Cripple Kid VIP. The reason why they always let ADA on on the very first, is because they know and they recognize that it might take a little bit longer for us to get on the plane, especially if we need to use an aisle chair.
If you do anything, don't be shy.
So sometimes these can be pretty steep. Be very careful going down them. Right, if you were on a flight that did require an aisle chair, this is where they would transfer you into the aisle chair. Alright, you want to get everything off your chair that could fall off. Don't put anything underneath the plane that could fall off of the plane. So I get your cushion, your other cushion, and then have flight attendant take this to where it's supposed to go. If you saw, it was real easy for me to transfer into the seat. Another perk of flying with Southwest is you get to pick your own seat. So I was first one on, so I got to pick the very first seat. And I'm now sitting on my cushion. It's always good to sit on your cushion. That way you can avoid all skin sores. Same thing with the soft pants that I mentioned before. Wear some soft pants. Don't forget to still do your weight transfers. Then you got your bag with you. You can have the stewardess grab the bag and put it up above. And I've got my water bottle and my headphones, and I'm good to go for the rest of the flight. These can be sneak. If you need any help, don't be afraid to ask, but you'll see. So once you're on the plane, you really just have to sit there. Unless, of course, you have to pee. So if you're going to do this, you have to come prepared. You have to come with not just catheters, but a leg bag as well, or a bag for your pee to go in. You can ask the stewardess for a blanket, and then you put the blanket over top of you like a little tent. And then you can do a full cath session right there underneath your blanket. No one needs to know the difference. Even if your neighbors are weird, it's better than peeing on yourself. So you can cath right there. And then your bag of your pee bag, your urine, you can just stow away back in your bag until you can find a bathroom to dump it out in.
Or you can drink it.
No.
Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine?
Because it's sterile and I love the taste. So that's definitely an option, like especially for international flights. I was talking to a guy this week who said he flew to Africa, which is like a bajillion hours, and he had to do that a couple of times. Make sure you get your weight shifts in. That's the most important. You don't need to be catching a skin sore on your trip. And hopefully you don't have to pee underneath the blanket tent, but if you do, that option is available. These are those weird back hallways I was telling you about. Everyone's going up these escalators. You gotta go towards the eerie back hallway of elevators.
We going home.
We got a driver, so we fancy like that.
If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky up like this. The higher you hold it, the fancier you are.
We got the baggage claim. I got my bag. Today we have a driver, so we're not gonna have to worry about calling a Lyft. That's something you'll probably have to do. If I was here by myself without a driver and had to call Lyft, I would probably find someone in these areas who's like a baggage handler, or maybe even the person who was gonna push me, like those wheelchair valet guys, and see if they can help me take this out to the curbside pickup or whatever my ride was gonna be. Thanks for watching. Be sure to comment down below about what your favorite part of this video was, or some of your top travel tips for other wheelchair users if you yourself are in a wheelchair. Be sure to find me on Instagram, Facebook, and make sure to sign up for my email list down below. And we'll see you in the next one.
I am you. I am me, I am you.
When going to airports,